A disheveled woman fled in panic. Her face was filled with terror. She kept glancing back from time to time, as if she were escaping from some terrifying presence. Suddenly, a pair of blue giant hands appeared. They blocked her path. For the sake of the baby in her arms, the woman dashed up the slope again, but she was violently flung away. In front of the blue giant hands, she was nothing more than an ant being toyed with. Not long after, this godlike being finally grew bored. The blue hands lifted the woman high into the air and casually tossed her to the ground. Yet the culprits of this tragedy were merely 3 children. On this planet lived 2 vastly different species. Dominating were the Drags. They were enormous in size and possessed a highly advanced civilization and intelligence. In contrast stood the Alms. They were primitive and weak and could only be kept as pets. Seeing the pitiful Alm infant, a young giantess named Tiwa was moved with compassion. She adopted the little one and named him Tiur. Yet this insignificant Alm was destined to change the balance between the 2 species. To prevent her pet from running away, Tiwa placed a collar on Tiur. With just a flick, he could be pulled back no matter where he was. The Drags performed a strange ritual every day. They called it meditation. It allowed their consciousness to detach from the body and roam freely. This seemed to be the most important thing in a Drag's life. Meanwhile, the revered elders suddenly realized that 1 Drag week equaled an Alm's entire year. Because of this, wild Alms multiplied at an astonishing rate, rapidly draining the planet's resources. To maintain ecological balance, they decided to purge wild Alms every 3 weeks. For the Drags, such slaughter was as natural as exterminating pests. One day, Tyr was running around in the room again. He accidentally entered a chamber and witnessed 4 giants in their meditation. Their bodies transformed in countless ways. No one knew what this meditation truly meant. The Drags had a peculiar way of learning. By simply wearing headphones, knowledge was transmitted directly into the brain, forever engraved in memory. Due to a flaw in the caller's technology, Tyr too gained knowledge and mastered the Drag language and culture. As Tiwa grew older, her attention was consumed by meditation, letting her consciousness roam through boundless realms. From that day on, Tiwa seemed to open the door to a new world and became increasingly distant from her pet Tyr. Tyr seized the chance and plunged into the wilderness, trying to escape with the headphones, for the knowledge within them was his only way to understand the world's rules. When she discovered her pet was missing, Tiwa immediately activated the remote. A powerful force pulled Tyr backward. As the headphones snagged on a tree root, at the critical moment, a wild girl reached out to help. She cut off his collar. Tyr yearned for knowledge and refused to be enslaved. When he finally had the chance to flee, he still carried the heavy learning device, thus planting the seeds of the future, to pass knowledge on to more Alms. It was no different from Prometheus stealing fire from the gods. After a long journey, the girl brought Tyr to an abandoned park. Some wild Alms lived within a giant tree there. Tyr thought returning to his people would bring warmth and acceptance. But reality poured cold water on his hopes. Because of Tyr's identity as a pet, he was mocked and distrusted by his kin. This was in a sense a satire of human society, for oppression and hierarchy exist everywhere. At nightfall, the Alms held a special ritual. They swallowed the potion from the shaman's hand. Afterward, their bodies glowed with light, and pairs vanished into the darkness, to contribute to the survival of their species. Through the learning headphones, many Alms had mastered Drag culture, but in the eyes of the conservative shaman, any Drag knowledge was evil. Moreover, this pet Alm's origins were questionable. Why should we trust him? As the holder of authority, the shaman knew well the power of knowledge. To secure his own position, he demanded that Tyr fight a deadly duel. Only the victor would be accepted.